predictions. We're going to be looking at a couple of games today. Just to remind everyone, this weekend, the weekend games are starting on Friday with Nottingham Forest playing Newcastle, and then Brentford play Leicester City. Spurs go to St. Mary's to play Southampton. Aston Villa will lay host to Bournemouth. Wolves will be welcoming Leeds to their stadium. Chelsea will be having a very difficult game against Everton, who are having some sort of a resurgence. And then we also have Arsenal playing Crystal Palace. But we're going to quickly touch on the Man City and Burnley game. And I think that's where we will start, even though that's not a Premier League game, but we just want to touch on that game because of where Man City is in the title race. So I'm going to start with you, Femi. Man City Burnley is an FA Cup game. We expect Man City now, to really go ahead for the Champions League. We know that. But would they start to rest players for the FA Cup game? How do you see that FA Cup tie going, and who will come out on top?
Well, it's not too difficult to predict. There's the emotion of it. Naturally, if you look at it, Burnley, they're managed by the man who's going to definitely get a statue at the Etihad, Mr. Vincent Kompany. And we were talking earlier about his goal against Leicester in 18-19 when they won 14 games on the trot on their way to the title. When they looked out of it, but they went and won the last 14 games of the season. So yes, there will be the romance of the FA Cup as well, which we all know, but also it's got an extra romance to it. The wonderful, wonderful Vincent Kompany leading Burnley. Oh, of course, they're flying. That's the reality. They're flying in the Championship. It's one thing to be flying in the Championship, but it's also another thing to be in the Premier League and be down in the doldrums and try to get the result. If you're down in the doldrums, you're used to losing. The one thing that can work for Burnley in their favor is they're used to winning. But being used to winning still does not compare to going to the Etihad. And I think the one thing that could be a problem for City is if they rest too many of their good players. But what bad players do they have? I don't think there's any. So the direct replacements, except they go and get your Rico Lewis and co from the under-18s or the under-21s to play there. But they've got such a big squad that they have no excuse in the world. So Burnley would not go away easily because of the romance of the Cup. I know the FA Cup games don't turn out to be 7-0 wins or anything. They'll probably lose 2 or 3 max. I mean, I don't see them losing by 3 goals, City and Burnley, to be honest. Maybe the odd 1 or 2 goals. But I can't see them going to the Etihad because even if the plan A is not working of putting your players that have not got enough game time recently on the pitch, you've got De Bruyne and co on the bench. I don't think they will play our friend from the start, Ireland, but also is there on the bench to come through if Alvarez is not scoring goals. So I think City have it in their hands to control because they'll have most of the ball anyway. And of course, in the end, that controlled possession would lead to natural chances of 1 or 2 goals to see Burnley up. So would love the romance to continue, but unfortunately for Burnley, I think this is the end of the road.
Yeah, so Pep has always shown, well, so far his stats against, his supposed, students, people who've come out from the Pep tree, as you say, he's really undefeated, against those. So, I think it's going to be intriguing, and you've mentioned some really key things about Burnley this season. They're used to winning, that does something against your psyche when you play, teams. So it's really going to be a tough one. Face, do you think that this would be Pep's first loss against his so-called students in the FA Cup game?
Even in my dreams, I don't think I'll think that. Because I don't think if he's going to lose, he should be losing to the likes of Arteta, who has a squad that could easily match him to an extent, or to the likes of other guys that have the squad to, to match the overwhelming quality he has at his disposal. Burnley, yeah, fair to them. They've been playing well this season, but I don't think they have that same quality to match what Peps is going to dish. Remember, we always said Peps has like 3 quality teams that could prosecute any match. So even if he's going to rest the supposedly first team, because Pep really don't have a first team, whoever he brings out on that day, can actually play Champions League and still win. So that is the
Absolutely.
beauty of how robust his team is.
And the same team beat Arsenal anyway. So
yeah, the point I'm saying is that anybody he brings in there is a first team player. So that is the crazy thing about Man
there's
City.
no weakness.
Yeah, there's no weakness.
Even their second choice keeper is not bad at all. He's been playing the FA Cup.
Everybody is good, man. So, but not taking away Burnley. Burnley has been fantastic this season. So far, both teams, they've not lost any match so far in their last 5 matches. Burnley has won 3, drew 2. City has won all their last 5 matches. Now, if you look at what Burnley is doing in the championship, they've played 36 matches. They have 80 points, guys. And they have an overwhelming goals difference of 43. That is massive. Massive. And that alone, like what Femi, you said, that alone gives you a whole lot of confidence. With that domination makes you feel you can actually compete with the Premiership teams. And if you look at they've scored 71 goals this season. That is massive. Somebody scoring 71 goals means a whole lot of confidence. You know, you're stepping into the field, the confidence is there. You're believing that whoever comes here will win. So I see an interesting match, but unfortunately I think City will take this. But I don't think it's going to be that high scoring, or I don't think it's going to be a blown away match. I think it's going to be tight. It's going to be it may not be all with a lot of goals, but it's going to be tight. It could be a 2-1 1-0 victory, or even a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, I think this will be a close one. I agree with you. I think City, will win this game. I think, Pep always has the capability of doing something that we don't expect. Some tactics just to get the edge, over Vincent Kompany. So it'll really be intriguing one. I know everyone will be looking at that game, as well. So let's go into our Premier League prediction. We're going to first start off with the game at Stamford Bridge, Chelsea against Everton. Faze, how do you see this game going, and what's your prediction?
Chelsea in recent time has they are gradually coming back to form. I think they won their last 2 matches, and clearly a whole lot of confidence is coming back to the team. I think Potter is beginning to settle. He's beginning to know his first 11. He is beginning to know his squad, understand them personally, their strength and their weaknesses. So the pressure is easing a bit. I see a whole lot of people settling down. I think they've already known that this season is gone in terms of any form of silver. No, any form of silverware. I don't think they expect them to win the Champions League, but it could be a fluke. The match who did it, when who was sacked, and from nowhere he went straight and won the Champions League. So anything can happen, but I don't see that happening this season. The team is still settling. I think they are beginning to prepare this team towards next season. They're beginning to put them together, make them understand, and hopefully by during this season break, go on a run, take them for tours, and make them understand each other and very well. I think that's the aim here. And kudos to the management. They want to keep faith to Potter, and I think he's beginning to repay them gradually. Two difficult games plus a Champions League win. It tells a lot that the team is beginning to settle. Against Everton, I think they will win Everton. Everton also is in good form, doing well so far. But I think at Stamford Bridge, I expect City and Chelsea to take this. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring game. Even the bookmakers is giving Chelsea this. They gave Chelsea 66% to win this, and Everton 13% with a draw of 21%. And if you look at their head-to-head over time, it's been that. Total played, Chelsea has won 37. Total they've played in the last 5 matches. Chelsea has won 2, and Everton has won 2, and they've drawn 1. So, but for this match, I'm going to Chelsea, and I'm predicting a 2-1 victory.
2-1 victory to Chelsea. Everton have won. They're unbeaten in their last 2 games. Since Sam Allardyce came not Sam Allardyce, Sean.
Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche
Sean
sounds
Dyche.
like Sam Allardyce as well. So you could
Sean
merge
Dyche
the names together and it sounds like Aladicio.
Since Sean Dyche came into
Dyche
Everton.
Allardyce. So
Everton, they've played 7, they've won two games, they've drawn 1. So what do you think is going to happen at Stamford Bridge? Do you think Everton's resurgence is going to continue, or have Chelsea actually cracked the code?
I think for me, one thing I've noticed about Chelsea, and if you look at their last 3 games, the last time they were on TV, Sky Sports cameras does a lot for your psyche, doesn't it? When you're the game on TV and all the cameras are there, the whole world is tuning in. I don't know if the Chelsea players can cope with that pressure yet. Because last time they were on TV, they lost 2-0 to Spurs. But then they went under the radar at home to Leeds. Nobody knew they were playing. It was part of the cluster of kickoffs. They won 1-0. Really just got away with that. Then they went to Leicester. Again, not on TV. They won 3-1. You just heard the results. You didn't really see them play live. But they're
we
back
see
on
them
TV
play live
now.
in USA. We see them play live in all matches.
I
So
agree
what's the
with the
difference?
US, but in the UK, the pressure ramps up when the Sky Sports cameras are there or the BT Sports cameras. Trust me,
really?
the adrenaline is different. So for me, I think that's the one thing the Chelsea players have to overcome. With everybody, the glare of the world in their eyes and on their faces, can they really step up? Everton have no pressure. Why did they have no pressure? They will not be expected to win that game, would they? So the pressure is off. They will just come in there and work hard. And that's the first ingredient of success, hard work. And I know the Everton players are ready to work hard. They've been doing that in the last few games. So where's the problem going to be from? It's going to be from the creativity of the Chelsea players. I like the look of Joao Felix. He seems to get the idea of how to play across that front three. He's moving very quickly. Just to really look at it, I think that's the one thing they need to cope with Chelsea. If they can cope with the pressure of playing in front of the cameras, I think they'll be fine against Everton. And like Faye said, it's not going to be a high-scoring game. They'll be lucky to win 2-1 or 1-0 in the end. But if the pressure gets to them, it might end up being a draw. Or you just never know. Everton might score 1 goal and then pack the bus. They're capable of packing that. They've got a great goalkeeper. And the back four is not looking bad as well. They've got experience around that back four. Mikolenko, Tarkowski, Kane. They've got quite a lot of, even Coleman. So it's not like they've got a bad back four. And across the middle, Onana, Doucouré, these are very good players. Solid, tall, strong, confident. Going forward is where the problem is, but they've got Andre Gray scoring goals again. He can take a penalty if they get one. So I think it will be a hard game for Chelsea, especially under the lights as well. So let's see how this pans out. For me, I hope it's a Chelsea win for their own good, 2-1, but I'm not going to hold my breath, trust me.
Yeah, very quickly, I think it's going to be a 1-0 to Chelsea in this game. I think Everton are going to go there to keep it tight. They seem to have developed a strategy when they play the top teams, in denying them, any space, pressing, and Onana and, the guys, again, in the middle of that pack, they work tirelessly for Everton. So they're going to make it difficult for Chelsea. But I think Chelsea just has the edge in terms of the quality. I think they will sneak that 1-0. Let's go to the Arsenal game. Arsenal welcome Crystal Palace, to the Emirates Stadium. The Emirates Stadium has been sort of a fortress for Arsenal. Arsenal fans there have seen some incredible games so far this season, at the Emirates. But Crystal Palace, they are yet to win, this year, actually, 2023. And so, they're under pressure right now to get a win or some sort of result, in their next game. So Arsenal, obviously going for the title, cannot afford to drop any points in this game. So I'm going to start with you, Femi. Arsenal, Crystal Palace. We know Patrick Vieira, has got allegiance to Arsenal. Is he going to be part of the team that tries to derail Arsenal's title hope? Or would the Emirates crowd welcome, their long, lost, son to the Emirates, and there will just be good times for the fans? How do you see that going?
I mean, personally, I think Palace, if you look over their last 7 to 10 games, honestly, they've not lost any game by more than a 1-goal margin. So they're not a team you're going to blow away, winning 3-0 or 4-0. They're not at all. And they, in that time, played Brentford, they played City, they played City, yes. They played Liverpool. Would you believe they drew 0-0 with Liverpool at home? So I don't think they're a team you're going to blow away because of the competence that they have across their team. And of course, they have that passion as well. And Vieira we all know, he's an all-in manager. He was an all-in player. So he's not going to permit his players wandering around the pitch. And I did say previously that hard work is the bedrock at first for success. They do actually work hard. They've got the desire, which is the starting point of every achievement anyway. So they're not going to be a team we're going to blow away. Anybody thinking this is going to be a 4-0 or 5-0, just perish that thought. They've not done that at all in the league all season. They've actually matched teams toe-to-toe. And even though they've not won in this year already, they've drawn a lot of their games. So it's not like they're losing week in, week out. They're just not winning, turning those 1-1s and 0-0s into victories. If you can draw against Liverpool, and you've only lost 1-0 against City, even City came to the Emirates and beat us 3-1, then you know you're a competent side. So the one thing that I think will work for us is the fact that they've got a midweek game tonight. They've got a midweek game against Brighton, I suppose. So that will take a lot out of them because it's a derby. And after that derby, they've got to come to the Emirates, which is our own comfort. So I think it's going to be one of those professional performances. I see the Arsenal winning that 2-0 in the end. Maybe the first time they will lose by a 2-goal margin, because we would be very, very motivated going for the title. Vieira is guaranteed the heroes welcome, a very warm reception. As soon as the game kicks off, I think it's going to be all Arsenal. We'll keep the ball, we'll work them hard, push it side to side, hopefully pin them back, and get 1 or 2 errors from the defenders and get the 2 goals we need. Hopefully it's a 2-0. They nick one because we can't keep a clean sheet at the Emirates now. Then I don't mind, but I know we're capable of beating them because they don't have the confidence of winning games, but we've got that confidence at the minute. So that's the one edge that we have over them. But they're not a team that will go away easily. That's one thing I must tell you.
Yeah, so I'll give my prediction very quickly. I think at the Emirates, I'm very confident about what Arsenal can do. So I am going to go with you, like 2-0 victory to Arsenal in that game. Face quickly, your prediction for the Arsenal Crystal Palace. Arsenal are very strong at home. Crystal Palace are not great away from home. Is this only going one way?
Yeah, it's going one straight way, very straight way. And and I totally disagree with Femi on this. I think they'll continue to lose away, and it won't change in this match. And for me, I don't believe it's going to be tight. Those statistics won't hold in Emirates, and nobody has been able to counter that. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for us. We're going to blow them away, like what Femi is saying. And definitely the midweek match is going to count also in our favor. They won't match in terms of the stamina and physicality after that midweek match against us over the weekend. I think we're going to win and win well. Even the bookmakers clearly gives us in our favor 76% against 8% to them. So all the permutations and everything, when you put them side by side, and for the fact that they've not won away in a very long time, I don't see them doing that in the Emirates. So I see, like I said, a straight way for this, and it's an Arsenal win. And I'm predicting 4-0 for this match. Yes, I am.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a mic
Let's
drop.
hope it happens. We don't mind that.
That's
Maybe he has a crystal ball he's looking at that we can't see.
Very high scoring game.
Mic drop moment.